talk. Thanks, guys, for coming. I know my name's not very descriptive in my talk. Yeah, he just introduced me, so I am a ginger. My name's Drew. I also lead the OpenGSM, also known as the OpenGSM project, which is a more true-to-spec GSM backend for open source cellular technologies. So we've heard of the OpenBTS project. I took that and I made a backend for them. So it could be implemented as a more realistic cell phone infrastructure. So in my bio, I talked about drinking beer. Yeah, I drink during my talks, and there will be lots of drinking. This talk is, what we'll be talking about is a covert channel via multi-streaming out-of-band signaling. And that's just a fancy way of saying we're going to take SIGTRAN, we're going to add some SID manipulation, which is stream identification, and we're going to come up with covert channel. So covert channel, covert communication, we will be talking about Stego. We also will be talking about the weaknesses within this. Every piece of Stego has a weakness. So we are going to be leveraging signal channels, but why would I want to be talking about a covert channel that I made? Well, first of all, I'm a big fan of SCTP, the transfer protocol, and that it also leverages that within this. And I think it's a good way to get people's brains working. Be like, all right, this is how one person looked at it. Now let me see how I can change it, or like, oh, that's cool. I can apply this to this area, and then come up with either a new covert channel or a runoff of it. So though covert channels are supposed to be secretive, obviously this one's open, and the source code will be available for people to view as well. So beer, yes, there will be beer. 4 correct answers. I'll have questions in this slide. If you get them correct, I'll buy you guys a beer later on. So our agenda, we're going to be talking generally about what is a covert channel, what is covert communication. Then we're going to be talking about the different types of signaling. We got in-band signaling, out-of-band, and common channel signaling. Then we're going to be talking more about SCTP, which is what this covert channel is going to rely a lot on. We'll add SIGTRAN to see how it works with it. Then we're going to add it all together and give the theory behind it. I'm also going to have a demo, just show you how it works in general, how it looks when you view it through a Wireshark logs. The next step that I take with this covert channel, or other people can take as well, it will be, this discussion will be on my GitHub, same with my research papers that I've written on this, and questions. Questions are towards the end, but if you guys have questions during my talk, feel free to ask them at any time. Just for a general rule for the crowd, I do sometimes go off on tangents when people ask me some questions and then it leads to something else. So if I start getting far off topic, just let me know and we'll just bring it back. So what is a covert channel? It's a method to take something in or out of a secure location. Now a secure location is very general. It doesn't have to be secure. It could be taking information in and out of a workplace. That's, let's say, even a private sector workplace. People would like to think those are secure, or at least the information in there is secure, or at least some of it. So it's allowing people to either exfiltrate or to bring in new pieces of data. So that could be private plans, that could be bringing in malicious software, just doing it secretly. So Stego is, and this is just copy pasta from the wiki, it's the art and science of writing hidden messages in such a way that no one, apart from the sender and the recipient, will know the existence of any such communication. Now we do have lots of forms of this. When we think about Stego, a lot of people might think about pictures that have hidden messages because they're messing with the JPEG bit mapping, or audio that has information, or even such as files that might have metadata, where you have a Word document and you write out this Word document, and then you delete everything, and then you write another Word document within that same document, and you save it each time. Well, in the metadata, you will still have part of that information, and that has been used before as a form of Stego. So in-band signaling. So it's where the control data and the voice data is in the same channel. This is exactly what it looks like. So we have either our network or our end node or some part of the network. We have data coming in, and then we also have control data and regular voice in this case, since we're going to be talking about this in a telephony sense, and this is what this Covert Channel is made for. It's for telephony-based networks. Now, so the first question is, what's a common, or what was a common in-band signaling suite that was used for telephony networks? Anyone? No? No free beer? That is not the correct answer. So C5. So we know from C5 because it was allowing people to do a fun thing with this unit. Now this unit is a blue box, and this is a perfect example of what happens when you have control data and voice going over the same place. So blue boxes, I'm going to be pulling up a quick app. As you guys know, it was used to make free phone calls. You call a 800 number, you hit the blue box, or you hit the 2600 hertz, which sounds like, if you guys can hear that, that is 2600 hertz. You dial your number that you want, and then you hit KP2 and send. And that's how it worked. So there are clear problems with that. So they decided we should move away from in-band signaling and probably have both control data and voice data separated. And most systems have moved away from that, and I believe all systems have. I don't know one system currently in the US right now actually that uses C5 still. So we have out-of-band signaling, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's two different channels that are used for, one's for data and one's for control. So as we see, unlike in-band signaling, we see the data channel is separate from the control channel. Now they can still be on the same physical lines, and how that works is with multiplexing and things like that. Now out-of-band signaling within telephony networks, anyone know that answer? What they use commonly now? There's two answers available. Yeah, SS7, and I guess I'll buy you a beer, Joe. SS7, and we'll be talking about SIGTRAN, which is SS7 over IP. For the most part, that's it, it's simple. Now, common channel signaling. This is where we have dedicated lines. So, the control channel is only used for control data. And within telephony networks, we have this use where we have multiple data lines for voice, and then we have one control line controlling multiple data lines. An example of this would be ISDN-D channel, which is used, as we know, to control multiple data lines, or multiple voice lines to be exact, within like European-based telephony networks. So SCTP, this is where the big part comes into. SCTP was a protocol developed by the SIGTRAN group. They needed a few functionalities. It is transport layer. It does share qualities of both TCP and UDP. And like I said, I'm a big fan of it. If you talk to me about, oh, would you use TCP for this case or UDP? I'll be like, well, I'd probably just use SCTP, and I've been trying to move my stuff towards it. Unfortunately, a lot of like home-based routers don't support it yet. So if you use like OpenWRT though for a home-based router, you can use SCTP. A lot of VoIP systems use SCTP, and the overall control data for, or not control data, but the overall telephony networks within cellular networks, and also the data part of that, not just the telephony part, uses SCTP. So it is message-oriented, like UDP. That's one of the functions that it shares. And it ensures reliable communication, like TCP. It is multi-streaming as well, and this is the part that we'll be getting into. So streams are used for network efficiency within SCTP. We have, well, you can have, there is a set maximum limit to streams. I don't know what it is exactly off the top of my head right now. I should. But in this case, let's just say we have 4 streams in this case, okay? So stream N will be 4. We have one stream 0, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Data can be sent throughout all those streams at the same time. So instead of just one pipeline going through, we can have individual packets on each one. And now let's say there's a collision, or there's a drop packet, or something went wrong. Well, instead of all those pipes being resetted, like stream 2, let's say there was a problem, the packet that goes for stream 2 will be resent through stream 2. So streams 1, 3, and 4 will not be interfered with in stream 0 as well. Is that making sense? Right? I mean, we all deal with SCTP, a lot of us deal with SCTP. I was reading this to some of my roommates yesterday, and they're like, people don't really do much with SS7, Drew. I was like, damn it. All right. So we'll look at the header for SCTP. This is not a full header. This is a basic header. And with it, there are a few things we need to keep note. A stream ID, which is key to this Covert channel, and the stream sequence number, which is also important for this Covert communication method. B and E up here and U do play a role. They are not super critical. Well, they are, but they're not super critical to exactly where this talk is going. But we will discuss it when I show what the actual header looks like filled in. So SIGTRAN. It stands for Signaling Transport. It's an acronym. It's also a group. And in simple, it allows for SS7 data to be carried over IP lines. And it was made to address that exact problem, actually, where we're having control data from regular telephone networks, telco networks, so PSTN lines, needing to be sent over IP. And they didn't really have an efficient way to do that. So SIGTRAN came up and were like, oh, we have an efficient way. We're going to change some of the protocols. We're going to use this transfer protocol called SCTP to handle all this. And it was born. So it allows information to be sent from the signaling gateway, the media gateway. Media gateway is just not just voice data. It allows for video, allows for streaming data, so monitor sharing and things like that. And this is where it comes into play. So the first part was a little dry. Sorry. We'll be getting into like actual application of this now. So Stego. We got to add 2 cups of SCTP and then 1 cup SIGTRAN. So we have inter and intra protocol Stego. Does anyone know what inter-protocol Stego is? No?
Just guess and say it's inside.
Yeah, it's inside. It's inside the. It deals with header manipulation. And inter actually deals, which is a rare form of protocol Stego, deals with the actual devices that it goes on. And that's another cool thing about SCTP is, instead of just having, an Ethernet cord plugged into this laptop to a switch to another Ethernet cord on the other side, I can have an Ethernet cord from this laptop to 2 interfaces on the switch, to 2 interfaces on the server. And packets can be sent in between those 2 and they'll be repositioned together and bam. It just allows for better network efficiency. And with another part of this Stego, which I won't be talking about, I actually give an example of this where you have SCTP sessions active on 2 interfaces, and you are gathering sensitive or your Stego information or your Covert channel from streams 1 and 4 on the first interface and then streams 2 and 3 on the second one. And this is so it's harder for SIG analysis to be done on this Covert channel. Now, with that, you also bring in a whole range of complexities, and you also bring in a lot of problems which are being tuned out right now, trying to be fixed. There's also a lot of problems in theory with it, so I'm still working on that part to get it rock solid. So, stream IDs. Now these are what we'll be manipulating. We talked about the streams, and with those, we have to make sure that each packet is put to the proper stream that we want. So looking again at this header. Now this header has the information filled in, and move it here. So stream ID, this is the important part, stream ID 2. So this is going to be sent on stream 2. We got the sequence number 4, and in this example we only have 4 streams open. But when we have, when we do it through SIGTRAN, we'll talk about that. You have to have 6 streams open at a minimum for this to work. I'll talk about more about why that is. So B and E, if B and E are both equal to 1, it means it is the last packet in the stream or in the session. So 0, 0 equals the packet in the middle, 1, 0 equals the first packet. And then U, if U is set, it also means it's only one packet going through one stream. If U is set to 0, it means it's going to be a multiple stream connection or data transfer. So with the stream ID set to 2, wrong arrow. There we go. So the stream ID set to 2, we have stream 2 on it. And for this Stego, each stream is given a binary representation. Now I choose 2-bit binary representation for this. So we have 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. And with that, we're able to spell out messages. And this is how it works. So you can see how everything's coming along. So stream ID 2, last packet, because the session or the sequence ID is 4. And when we transfer it, we actually see that it will send it in the order based off the sequence number and on the proper stream. So obviously when it gets sent, it's actually pretty much all sent at the same time. In theory, they've had some problems with SCTP actually sending packets all on streams at the same time. In theory, though, via the documentation on it, there is supposed to be data sent on all streams at the same time. So again, we'll look at stream 2 for this, and we'll see that, all right, stream 2, so stream ID 2 makes sense. Sequence number 4 makes sense. TSN could be a number anywhere from 0 through, I think it's 65 million, something like that. And it's just a number given to what the packet number is. So the TSN for stream 4 would be 105938. So it is in sequential order of when the first packet is sent. And again, since we are sending the last packet, and it is the last packet being sent in this entire data transfer, we do have B and E set to 1 with U set to 0. So with that, so we're going to use the phrase secret message. And secret message has to be converted into binary, because as we saw, the 4 streams which we'll be using represent some binary figures. So this is what secret message looks like when the phrase secret message is converted into binary. Now that we have it converted into binary, we can then properly decide what streams we need it to go on. So each row of this spells a letter. this is what it looks like when you break each one down. So when on the receiving side, this is what they see. We see stream 2 is 0, 1. Stream 4 equals 1, 0. So in this case, we have stream 0 equaling 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. And though this is a lot of binary information to send, for just a small message, it will be converted and it will look like this on the receiving side. You can have it print out like this if you want, and then just have it print out everything, or you can just have it print out the secret message. And the great part about this, again, is you can be sending a regular text document, and the text document would be something of not importance at all, but your secret message is going to be sent via the via the streams which you intercept them at. So let's look at the numbers. So this goes to the Stego analysis of this. So we have stream 1 is used 10 times. All right. Stream 2 is used 25 times. Stream 3 is also used 10 times, and stream 4 is used 11 times. This is 56 transfers, which equals up to 112 bits. Now, if we just look at these numbers in plain, we'll see that it's obvious that stream 2 is used most often. And if someone was just looking at the data itself, they would be able to see, okay, stream 2 is being utilized more than any other stream. This is not how it should be working. It could be working like that, but most of the time you'll have stream 1 or stream 0 used most of the time. Or definitely stream 1 when we talk about SIGTRAN. So stream 2 is used over double than every other stream. And this allows for Stego analysis to be possible. Now that was for a short message. So what happens when we have a longer message? Well, with a longer message, it gets broken down a little bit more. Stream 2 is not used quite as much. Stream 1 is used a little bit more. And that's because with longer messages, you tend to have spaces, which a space in binary is, who knows what it's like? What?
2-0?
No, the actual 8-bit binary representation.
Yes. Yeah, 0, 0, 2, 0.
Yes, okay, yes, yeah, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, sorry. So yes, that's why we have stream 1 used more often. It's because 0, 0 will be used for those spaces. Now stream 4 and stream 3 are still not utilized as much. So this still, Stego analysis is possible. With this though, this is just looking at the important data, the core data in which we're sending it at. My recommendation, if you want to do Stego through this method, and this is just using basic SCTP method right now, this is not including SIGTRAN yet, is you have, for every 100 bits of information, you should be sending at least 1 megabyte. So so 1024, way more than 1024 actually. So we have it's 1 million of a possibility of being found. Now, we should send those data on streams 3 and 4 so that it will look more like the entire network is being utilized. And if a network administrator or a network analyst looks at the data, it will just see, all right, it's using all 4 streams to allow for better network efficiency. And that's what we want to hide under. We want to pretend that we're just being an efficient network. And this is where this whole thing comes into play. So demo time. I haven't prayed to the demo gods, but let's hope this works. Virtual box, right? So I was trying it last night. Oh, transmission. We'll just close that. I was downloading my Linux ISOs. Thank you. Yes, exactly. So here's some of the code right here. This is for the client. This is for the server. I'm going to have two people stand up right now. If Joe Macy and Royal, if they can stand up, they, all right. They, I asked Royal, I was just like, hey, I got this one problem with my code. And Royal calls to Joe, they're both my roommates, and they're like, hey Joe, you should come check out this code. And Joe comes, he's like, oh yeah, I get to look at shitty code, all right. I don't claim that I'm a good programmer. I can usually find vulnerabilities in code because if it looks like I would have wrote it, it's probably vulnerable. So they help me a bit. Not all this code is theirs, not all this code is mine. If it looks extremely crappy, it's probably mine. If it looks really good, it's probably theirs. If it looks all right, it's probably code that I used for off the SCTP examples for the Linux kernel. So we're going to be sending data on streams 0, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 5. And the important part that we want to look at is streams 2, 3, 1, and 2. So let me start at the server. And before it fails. All right. So we have received messages on streams 2, 3, 1, 2, and 5. Oh, and stream 0 as well. So there are 6 streams that we are using. And again, this is because when I talk about when we add SIGTRAN to the mix, you have to have your first stream is used for control. So stream 0 in a SIGTRAN environment will always be used for control. The last stream, in this case, stream 5, which is the 6th stream, will sometimes will be used for control. And sometimes it's just used for data. So the first and the last streams are going to be used for control most of the time. And I read that at first and I was like, all right. So I called up a few people that I know that deal with SIGTRAN, and they're like, yeah, the last stream, in this case stream 5, doesn't always have to be used for control, but stream 0 will always be used for control. And that can be read in the RFC. It clearly states that in section 1.4 actually. RFC number I don't quite remember. So, all right. What does that look like? So again, with SCTP, it has a handshake. It doesn't do a normal handshake as TCP does. It does its handshake authentication, or its handshake with cookies. But that's not the part that we want to look into. This is the part that we want to look into. So we'll check out 2 of these. As we can see, something was sent on stream ID 0. TSN number, again, as we can see, is sequential. So this packet came in first, this packet came in second. This packet was sent on stream ID 1. And these sequence numbers are all sent, are all 0 right here, because with this example, since it is just a basic proof of concept for it, it just sends each packet individually instead of in a full streaming manner. So stream ID 3, stream ID 1. If you guys have ever seen SCTP, pretty standard on how it looks. And again, like I said, we have the U set to 0, and since each one of these is set individually, we have E and B set to 1. Now, if it was sent in a multi-streaming, and let's say this was the first one, so it would be stream ID 0 if we were putting it on a real SIGTRAN network. This would be 1, 0 instead of 1, 1 or 0, 0. The second one of the 3 would be 0, 0, and the third one would be 1, 1. So we can see, all right, it sent successfully. We caught it with Wireshark. And now we're able to see the information. Now, what did we just send there? Well, we were only utilizing 4 strings there. We only sent one character, which was an A. So we sent an A with that little program there. Again, this code will be available on my GitHub, which will be on the last slide. So, again, thanks, Royal and Joe, saving me a few hours. Watch me try to code. Let's learn how to PowerPoint. Yeah, Windows. Yeah. Why even bother? So we saw what it looks like. Looks like a regular. I imagine this is what other people think we look at. This is when people are like, "What does Wireshark look like?" This is my picture that I sent them. Yeah, this is what we see. The matrix, totally realistic. So SIGTRAN, where does it come in? You've just been talking about SCTP, Drew. And SCTP Stego was cool, in 2008. All right, so SIGTRAN comes into this part. SIGTRAN uses SCTP. And with that, like I said, we have to have 6 strings minimum. We can have 4 strings if we want, or whatever. 6 strings minimum. Sends control data via this method. And again, 0 and 5 are used for control. Now, there are limitations with this. You only can send data intra-network. Well, that doesn't help me at all, because not many people have access to the internet. I mean, if you have access to internal workings of a cellular network, you are my best friend. How much beer do I have to buy you? Because I just want to try this code, I promise. No, there has been, I've been in contact with a few researchers, and they've been helping me with setting up a deal where I'll be able to actually try this from it will be a separate, it won't be on a commercial network. Though I wanted it to be. The best they said they could do me is bring me to the lab and have it on a virtual-based network. But they, from reading my paper, they said they couldn't find any reason why this wouldn't work. Obviously, I would have to tweak some things within the code to make it work. So the next steps. Get Android demo to work. So Android doesn't support SCTP right now. You can add SCTP support with NDK. It's actually fairly simple. Hopefully, we'll add it sometime. Because, again, I'm an SCTP fanboy. You can be a Perkle fanboy, I guess. And with that, we have, that will allow for a lot of call transferring. So from Wi-Fi to cellular towers to happen instantly instead of a little break. Now, we can't hear the break. We can measure the break, but we really can't hear the difference when we go from like a Wi-Fi and SIDS, and we're calling someone, doing a call there, and we're out of the range of the Wi-Fi network and go to a cellular network, and we hit the tower. So I want to try to get that working within a controlled network again, where I have SIGTRAN working from each tower. Again, we'll have to add emulated SIGTRAN support for Android as well on the application side. So try it on a real network. I wanted to try this on a real network before this talk, but I had other things like school. I guess I should get done with that. And work. Well, they pay me, so I enjoyed that. After we try it on a network, we're gonna, well, I won't profit. But if it works, this will be an excellent method for, organized crime. I had someone tell me that when I was talking to them. They're like, isn't this going to help organized crime? And I was just like, if organized crime has access to internal cellular networks or telephony networks right now, we have a big problem than just, SIGTRAN, Covert channels through SIGTRAN.